Hi there, in this video I'm going to show you how to do a horizontal clove hitch knot, also known as a horizontal half hitch knot. In this example I'm going to be using a separate piece of rope that's a different color, so it's a little bit easier to see. You have two options when you're doing a horizontal clove hitch knot. You can use a separate piece like this and you can tie it to your dowel or to your garment rack, or you can use a piece that is already included in your knotted design here. I prefer to use a piece that's already included. It's a little bit easier than using a separate piece. Plus with a separate piece you do have to weave in the ends at the end, so you would have your ends here and you weave them into the back, or they can become part of your design, but it just takes a little bit more thought. So yeah, I like to usually take a piece that's already in there and let it become my piece that's being knotted onto. But for the purpose of this video, I will be using a separate piece. And so I'm going to cross it in front of all of the other pieces of rope. This will be my non-working piece. Everything will be knotted onto this piece. And then all of these other pieces are my working pieces. So to do my first knot here, I'm going to cross it in front of my first piece. I'm going to take that first piece and I'm going to create a loop around my non-working piece, and then I'm going to bring my excess rope in through the middle here, and then I'll tighten it, and then I'm going to do the same thing again with the same piece of rope. So I'm going to loop it around again, and then I'll bring in my excess rope through the center here and tighten it. And that's my first horizontal clove hitch knot. So then I would go to my next piece here and I would do the exact same thing. So I would loop around. Another way you can think of it, some of my students have a hard time with the looping around. You can also come up and make a U here. So you see the U, and then you can bring that excess rope through the middle right here. Whatever is easier for you to think about. And then I'm going to go ahead and go around my second time. You always have to go around twice. If you only go around one time, then basically you just have a piece of rope that's looped around another piece of rope. It's not a knot. It's the second time around that makes it a knot. Another thing to know about the first and second time around is that the first time around actually determines how your piece of rope lays and how your line lays. Meaning if I went around and did it a little looser like this, my line would start to go diagonal, go down. It's dipping down here. But if I do a little tighter, you'll see now it's going horizontally. It's making a nice straight line across. So it's really only the first time around that determines that. And then the second time around, you don't really have to worry about how it's positioning your line. Again, that second time around is just to make it a knot and just to make sure it's really secure. So you can go all the way across here to create a nice even line all the way across, or you could even turn back around and go the other way. To go the other way, it's the same thing, except instead of, so you'll notice when I go around here, my center that I'm knotting towards is on my left side when I go from left to right. When I go from right to left, my center that I'm knotting towards is on my right side. So I'm going to loop around this way, facing this way, and then I'll bring my excess rope through here. And then tighten, and then again, loop around again, and then tighten. So from the right, again, I'll loop, or I can make my U, and then bring my excess rope through, tighten it, and then go around again. So I hope that's helpful. That's horizontal clove hitch from left to right, and then also from right to left. Please let me know if you have any questions.